So tell me in the chat box, do you find yourself craving sweets or junk food more than before? Is that true? Can you give me share in the chat box? Do you find yourself craving more than before? Craving foods like maybe sometimes sweets or sometimes junk or something that you never used to feel earlier. Do you have those cravings? Do you have those cravings where you feel that you want to have more of sweets, you want to have more of junk food? Yeah, sweets. Thank you. So are you in your 30s, 40s or 50s? Where what stage are you in? Like I would like to know, are you perimenopause or menopause or postmenopause? Okay, thank you. And which one feels closer to you right now? Like, do you eat when you are emotionally low or when you are emotionally high? Or do you sometimes binge eat? Or you skip your meals when you are stressed? How is it? Can you share in the chat box? Do you never skip meals? Okay, that's great. But have you ever noticed, are you aware that sometimes when you're low, you have that sweet cravings, or sometimes when you are, or do you eat like binge eat, like you try to avoid many times and then suddenly, you feel like, "Nay, I want to finish this off, the whole thing." You avoid avoid eating sweets, and then you eat the whole box. Is that happened with you? Has it ever happened with you? Never happened with you? Is it just you skip meals or like, okay, okay. That's good that if you, it doesn't happen with you, but mostly people face these problems. So thank you for your honesty. And before we go any further, I want to say this clearly. You are not weak, you are not failing, and your body is responding to the change actually. So when we hear the word menopause, we usually think of hot flashes. You feel like, suddenly, even if the AC is on and even if you're sitting under the fan, you feel, you sweat, and suddenly you feel that weight gain, and you sometimes you have that mood swings. What do I mean by mood swings is like sometimes you feel really happy for no reason, and sometimes you feel sad for no reason, and sometimes you feel that anxiety, and you feel like shouting everyone whoever is present in that moment. So it's a transition, and here's what most women are never told: this transition starts much earlier than we expect. So let me share a slide with you, a very interesting slide that I have made for you people. Let me know if you can see it. Just let me press, yeah. Let me share it. Just give me a thumbs up if you can, when you start seeing it. Okay. Yes, I think so. You can see me. I will just put it into webinar mode. I mean to say presentation mode. So this is what I want to share. Oh, sorry. Can you see it in the presentation mode? Yes, I suppose. So let's talk about the menopause. What happens actually in menopause? So first of all, we need to understand that perimenopause is the stage where it is before menopause. So perimenopause is when the symptoms of menopause are, start coming up. but the woman continues to have periods. Okay, perimenopause becomes the menopause when periods have stopped for a period of 12 months. So menopause is when woman stops having period for a month, for 12 months completely, on with completely 12 months no periods. And menopause occurs when hormone levels drop. So whenever you are in menopause, your hormone levels drop completely. What are the causes? Sometimes it usually affects women between the ages of 45 to 55 on an average. It can also happen due to certain surgeries, removal of the reproductive organs, some cancer treatments, and generic reasons. So, what are the symptoms of menopause? Is you feel that anxiety, you feel low in mood, you feel that changes in the memory, like sometimes you have that brain fog. You don't know, like you're not able to concentrate continuously. There is a lot of distraction in your mind. You're not able to sleep well. I'm not trying to frighten you. These are few of the symptoms that doesn't not necessarily everyone has these issues, but you might have one or two of these. Okay, you might face some aches and pains, joint aches, neck, shoulder pains, and as I mentioned, hot flashes, irregular periods. These are some of the symptoms that you are slowly transitioning into menopause. Now, what are the support? So, um, you need to discuss it with a healthcare professional, or you might need to contact a menopause coach, and you can actually talk to them that these are the concerns. I want advice on this, or you can talk to your friends and family if they are someone who are who can guide you and who are at the right place to guide you. So how can work on these things is you need to get plenty of rest while during this period. You need to avoid alcohol, smoking, and if you can eat healthy, nothing like it, and exercise regularly. And you need to inculcate some of the weightlifting exercise and strength training, at least 2 to 3 times a week. That can help with the symptoms of menopause. If you don't want to, have those menopause issues, you can actually um, so stop sharing. Yeah. This is what I wanted to share with you at this moment. But I hope it made sense. Like it made you were a little clear about what menopause looks like. So you might be in the perimenopause, and perimenopause begins anywhere between 35 to 45 years. This is when the hormones start fluctuating. You may notice increased cravings, emotional sensitivity, and maybe sometimes poor sleep, weight gain, feeling not like yourself anymore. You feel very different in yourself. And menopause is officially, as I mentioned, diagnosed when you don't have those periods for 12 continuous months. And after that comes the post menopause, a phase that can be peaceful if you take care of yourself. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Does it sound familiar to you? Or you don't eat at all when you, many times I have heard a lot of women say that, whenever they are stressed, what they do is, or when they want to lose weight, what they try to do is they stay hungry or they just don't feel hungry. And you feel you don't eat at all when you are stressed. You promise yourself you will be better tomorrow, and then the guilt hits, and the most painful thought comes, why can't I control myself anymore? No, you just lose control on yourself. And this question actually hurts because it makes you feel broken, but you are not broken. Let me share with you. So, I want to pause here and clear an important confusion that emotional eating and binge eating are not the same thing. Please don't confuse yourself and don't label yourself wrongly. Emotional eating is when you eat in response to emotions: stress, loneliness, tiredness, overwhelm, even happiness. You know, when you're very happy, you tend to eat sweets, or you feel you want to, um, enjoy the moment, or when you feel your family wants to have a party, what you do is you just go for sweets. So there is still some awareness about binge eating on, there is very little awareness about emotional eating. And binge eating on the other hand feels like, loss of control. You don't have any control on your eating. You eat large amounts very quickly, feeling disconnected while eating. Intense, then after that, after eating that, you feel that intense guilt or shame, and both are, signals, but they need different support. Emotional eating sometimes does not mean something is wrong with you, it means you are just a human being. So, I want to share something personal. I am a coach, I am a health coach, and I work in this space. And I still have days where I eat, where I feel like eating sweet, I feel like eating junk, not because I'm hungry, but because I'm emotionally exhausted. Many times I crave sweets after food. So if this is you, you are not alone. Let me ask you something. What are emotions? We have been taught emotions are just feelings, something we can control or suppress. But emotions are actually chemical signals in the body. Emotion is the energy in motion. When you feel calm, serotonin is released. When you feel connected, oxytocin is released. When you feel rewarded, dopamine increases and like it is released. And when you feel stressed, what happens? Cortisol is released. So emotions are not in your head, they are happening inside your body. And when stress becomes constant, and when rest is missing, when you don't rest at all, when you're always giving, 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 like, doing everything for everyone, your body stays in survival mode. And in survival mode, cortisol stays high, happy hormones reduce, and your cravings increase. Emotional regulation becomes harder. During menopause, this effect becomes stronger because estrogen, which once supported your mood, is now reduced. So, some stress that you handled earlier, now you feel you cannot handle it anymore. So, many times what we do, we just try to, fix the problem, not knowing the root cause of it. We just try to apply band-aid to it. Okay? We use quick fixes, like, you eat a Dolo when you are having that headache, or maybe you are not, you are having a fever, but you don't know the root cause of it, right? And in, so we use these quick fixes, like, it's just like um, eating some medicines, popping some pills just to get that relief. So what happens is food becomes the band-aid. Sweets give us quick dopamine hit, so it gives us a lot of relief uh, for that particular time. And junk food actually numbs the emotions temporarily. And let me ask you honestly, did it really help you when you ate those junk food and ate the sweets? Did it really help you in the long run? If it helped you, just give me yes. If it did not help you, just give me no in the chat box. That eating that sweet for that, when that emotion hit you, it might have given you relief for some time, but not for longer time, right? It does not fix the emotion, and it will return back. And again, you will feel guilt because you ate the wrong thing. So, there's another pattern many women don't talk about. Like, as many of you must be also following, like having that thing. They don't eat at all when stressed. They skip meals. They feel that I will just drink tea or coffee. Whenever they are stressed, they want to go for tea or coffee. What happens? Tea or coffee has nicotine, and that actually helps you, get that instant energy. And they say that I'm not hungry, but stress inside to produce that stomach acid. And stress plus empty stomach. Well, what happens when you have a lot of stress and your stomach is empty? It will actually release a lot of acid. This creates a vicious cycle. When you have stress and when you're skipping meals, acid increases, and that causes gut irritation. And when the gut is irritated, what happens? You have more stress. Over time, this affect the digestion, the hormones, immunity, and also your mood. This is not to scare you. This is to help you understand both overeating and undereating are signs of the same root issue. The body is in survival mode. So, let me share the gut and the hormone connection. Your gut is not just a digestive organ. It's your second brain. Most of your feel good hormones are produced in the gut. When gut health is disturbed, what happens? Good, like, the mood swings happen, you feel those cravings, the emotional imbalance happens, and you suffer because of it. And this is the biology. It's not like, something that I'm just uh, uh, just trying to uh, share some opinion. No, it's a fact. And menopause is not something to fight. It's something to support. We need to support ourselves more than ever we supported earlier. And what truly helps is you need to do some exercise and a lot of movement in this period. Many women actually, what they do is they become very, like, they sit in one place and try to do everything. Sit in one place and for long hours. And the moment, the metabolism has reduced during this period, and because of that, what happens? You start gaining weight. So it's very important that you need to do exercise. And as I mentioned, weightlifting and strength training exercise should be inculcated during this period so that you can help to preserve your muscle mass. um, this helps the food to get digested, and the feel good hormones are released. You need to sleep well. Sleeping well is like at least having 7 to 8 hours of good sleep, good quality sleep, because hormones heal during deep rest. The third thing is nutrition, because the gut is now the command center. So if your gut is having all the nutritious food, it will keep itself balanced. But when the balance is lost, what happens is you will face cravings, you will have cravings, and you will have mood swings and all those things. You need to have a positive attitude towards life, not fake positivity. Like, showing you are outside, showing that you are really positive, but inside you are criticizing yourself, or you might be having that negative thoughts coming up. That will not help you. You need to listen to yourself, listening instead of pushing yourself. So, this understanding is exactly why I created the Gut Reset program. Not to fix women, not to support, but to, support the women. Many of us don't know what is menopause. What is, like, you were just said that it happens with everyone, and that is why it's happening with you. So it's just a normal thing. You don't need to do much in this. But I understood that we really need to take care of us, ourselves, more than ever before. This program is for the women who are done trying to fix themselves and are ready to support their body properly. If someone doesn't see themselves here, they will never go for it. So this is a 10 days gut reset program that I like take people through. This actually helps reduce the craving. The the food stops controlling your emotions. Gut feels calmer and you feel more emotionally stable. So you also get a lot of clarity in your mind. You are able to think through clearly. It will help you balance your gut health, support hormones, reduce emotional eating, and break the guilt cycles, build a peaceful relationship with food. And this is not a diet, this is a reset that I'm helping you with.